Hey, and can you guys hear me? Hey, Corey and Zame. So you can't hear me. Good. Let me head over here. We're just gonna get started with the warm-up quiz. So just 5 questions, and we'll do this as more people join in. So there is your game pin. I'll give you guys just a minute to all get in the game. So I believe that should be everybody that's going to join. So we're going to get started with this one. And you can still join in after we get going here. I need to turn the comments off from the screen. So here we go. We're going to start with who won the 2017 Daytona 500? Was it Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin, Austin Dillon, or Joey Logano? Apparently we're still missing at least one answer, so we must have at least 7 people playing. It was Kurt Busch. 2017 was the year that he won it. DJ Anything is in the lead. Question number 2. What was the name of the race held at Sonoma Raceway from 2001 until 2006? It was the Dodge Save Mart 350K. Then they changed it to the Toyota Save Mart 350K for quite a few years. And boy, a whole bunch of positions shuffled right there, but DJ Anything kept the lead. What state is Ty Dillon from? Is he from North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, or Georgia? And he is from North Carolina. Who won the 2006 Cup Series championship? Ignore the typo up there. Was it Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, or Kurt Busch? That was Jimmy Johnson's first championship in the Cup Series. And we have just one question left. It looks like we've got two people up here. We got DJ Anything and CK88. Could be either one of them who gets this win. Who is Kevin Harvick's current spotter? Is it Brett Griffin, Tad Boyd, Chris Lambert, or Kevin Hamlin? Ooh, only one person got it right. Brett Griffin is currently Kevin Harvick's spotter. Coming in third place is Zaim Teshfin. And then CK88 comes home in second. And with the win in our first quiz of the night is DJ Anything. This is different than what we normally have at the end of a game. Yeah, it usually takes me right back to the page I was on. Let's see, let's go ahead. We got three options. We'll get to all three of them tonight. Let's go ahead and go with random NASCAR trivia. We'll do that movie one next. But let's go ahead and do this one. I'll turn the comments back on for a second so I can see if anybody said anything. So there's your game pin. Hey, there's NASCAR Maniac 48. I was just thinking about where you were at. So we've got 5 people here. And only 3 people, it says, are watching the live stream. So I guess that means everybody's in and then some, because now we've got 6 people. So we're going to go ahead and get this round started. There's 20 questions. Question number 1. What team did Marcus Ambrose drive for in his NASCAR Cup Series debut? Was it Richard Petty Motorsports, Wood Brothers Racing, JTG Doherty Racing, or Red Bull Racing? Yes, so he drove for the Wood Brothers. I don't believe it was for very many starts, though. Question number 2. Who had the most victories all time at North Wilkesboro Speedway? Was it Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty, Pete Hamilton, or Harry Gant? It was Richard Petty. He has the most wins at a lot of tracks. Who pushed Ryan Newman to the win in the 2008 Daytona 500? Kurt Busch. I'm surprised the answers were as spread out as what they were. It was Ryan Newman's teammate at the time, Kurt Busch, who pushed him to the win. Next question. In William Byron's young career, what track does he have the best average finish at? Some they're answering really quick on that one. There's a somewhat lag in the live stream. Of course, that's normal. But it must be about 9 or 10 seconds, because that's about the time when everybody's answers start pouring in. So wow, nobody got that right. William Byron's best average finish is actually at Pocono Raceway. So absolutely nothing changed on the scoreboard. Throughout NASCAR history, who has the most wins while driving the number 44? Yeah, Terry Labonte. Who finished runner-up to Justin Haley in the rain-shortened Daytona Summer Race in 2019? To be honest with you, I made this question and I wasn't quite sure who it was. It was William Byron. I didn't remember. As in, I wasn't sure. I mean, I don't remember right now. I'm sure it was William Byron. Ty Dillon, I believe, was fourth in that race, if I remember right. And Kurt Busch, of course, was leading. And then, um, he came into pit, and then they called the race shortly after. What NASCAR video game was the first to have Carl Edwards in it? So actually, I did not know this because I have not ever had NASCAR '06, but he was not on '07 or '08. So I thought that he had never actually been on a NASCAR game until '09. But turns out he was on NASCAR '06, Total Team Control. Got another new leader, and I think just about everybody shuffled position right there. Cole Custer made 3 starts in 2018, driving for which team? Yeah, so I bet a lot of people don't remember, but he actually drove for Rick Ware Racing. Only 3 starts, but he did drive for Rick Ware in the number 51 car. Where did Jamie Mcmurray get his first Cup Series win at? Was it Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte, or Indianapolis? It was Charlotte Motor Speedway. In 2018, which non-playoff driver scored the most points? It was Ryan Newman. What track does Erik Jones have the most career top fives at? Is it Darlington Raceway, Bristol Motor Speedway, Pocono Raceway, or Las Vegas Motor Speedway? So another young driver with a lot of success at Pocono Raceway. Next question here is worth double the points. Timmy Hill's best career finish is 14th place. What track was that at? I'm very surprised nobody said Daytona. But yeah, it was Indianapolis. It was one of those crazy Indianapolis races there a couple years ago. And a whole bunch of guys up at the front had wrecked out. I don't remember if it was 2017, which was the year that Casey Kane won, or if it was the year after. But yeah, it was one of those 2 years that Timmy Hill finished 14th. So, and DJ Anything in the orange cone moved up a few spots there. Next up, which driver has the most poles during NASCAR's Gen 6 era? It is Kevin Harvick. William Byron had a lot of poles there last year. He had like, what, 5 or 6? Got multiple answers to select here. From 2007 to 2010, which two drivers combined to win every single race at Martinsville Speedway? It was Jimmy Johnson and Denny Hamlin. Between the two of them, I think they had something like 11 or 12 straight wins at Martinsville. So it was just domination between those two for a long time. And what a surprise, NASCAR Maniac 48 goes back to the lead. We've got 6 questions left, and a true or false one here. Brett Moffitt won the 2015 Rookie of the Year award in the Cup Series. Is that true or false? That is actually true. There was not very much competition in 2015 for the Rookie of the Year award. So Brett Moffitt won it pretty easily. Double the points on this one. What year did Richard Petty get his first championship? He won 7, but what year did he get his first one? It was 1964. True or false? Clint Boyer has only 4 career poles in the Cup Series. That is actually true. I think he had either 2 or 3 of them, like in the first year of his career, and then he didn't get one at all until last year. And then he had either 1 or 2 last year. I can't remember, but he went a long time without a pole. And DJ Anything shoots up into the top 5, and NASCAR Maniac has an even bigger lead. Of course, some of these last couple questions I do think are worth double the points, so that might help out Corey Klatt. Got 3 questions left. True or false? Double the points. Brad Keselowski won the Rookie of the Year award in 2010. So that is actually false. See, who did win the Rookie of the Year award in 2010? I cannot remember for some reason. That's strange. I should have been able to remember that. Which driver has the most career starts in NASCAR's Gen 6 era without winning a race? Is it Paul Menard, Landon Castle, Danica Patrick, or Michael McDowell? Better get your answers in quick. There we go. Paul Menard. He raced in every race up until this year without ever winning in the Gen 6 cars. He was the only one to do that. Final question. What track does Matt DiBenedetto have the most career top 10s at? I feel like everybody's answers were pretty slow on that one. Maybe everyone was a little bit unsure, and only one person got it right. It's Daytona. It would have made sense if it was Bristol, since he's done so well there. But it wasn't. So coming in third is Zaim Tashfin. Corey Klatt, 88, comes in second. And not much of a surprise, NASCAR Maniac, 48, wins another game. I want to turn on the comments. Does anybody know who won Rookie of the Year in 2010? It was Kevin Conway. I knew he won a Rookie of the Year award somewhere in there, but for some reason I was thinking it was 08 that he won it. Because Logano won the Rookie of the Year award in 2009. But Conway was 2010 then. Okay, I guess that makes sense. I hope that wasn't a question for later. So we're gonna do NASCAR trivia. This one's gonna be a little bit different than normal, as we're gonna do NASCAR related movies. How many people do we have watching? 4? Okay, so that must be everybody that's joined in then, because we've got 5 players and only 4 watching. I'm going to go ahead and get this one started, if it'll go back in landscape mode. Question number 1. Who was the villain in the 2005 Disney movie Herbie Fully Loaded? Was his name Trip Murphy, Butch Chandler, Jeff Gordon, or was it Crazy Dave the used car salesman? It was Trip Murphy. Crazy Dave the used car salesman, I believe that was the name of, he was the guy who owned the junkyard at the beginning of the movie. And then Butch Chandler is actually just a name from one of the fantasy drivers from the old EA Sports games. DJ anything up front. True or false? In Days of Thunder, Cole Trickle's first win came at Darlington Raceway. That one is true. Got multiple ones to select here, and it's worth double the points. Which 2 NASCAR drivers made an appearance in the film Sharknado 3? Looks like answers were all over the place on that one. Whoa, that was a lot of change right there. So Corey Klatt goes up to the lead. Zaim Tashfin is in second now, and then Cole Trickle is in third. I see somebody was theming a little bit there. What was the name of the race team Ricky Bobby drove for in the movie Talladega Nights? It was Dennett Racing. Who was the voice behind Tex Dinoco in the Cars movies? Was it Richard Petty, Mike Joy, Bob Costas, or Humpy Wheeler? We're missing a P in Humpy's name. It was Humpy Wheeler. Bob Costas was in the movie, and so was Richard Petty, and Mike Joy made an appearance in the third one. But it was Humpy Wheeler who was the voice behind Tex Dinoco. In Disney's 2005 movie, Herbie Fully Loaded, which company sponsors Ray Payton Jr. and the family race team? Bass Pro Shops. Did nobody in the top 5 get that right? Okay then. What sponsor did Rowdy Burns have in the movie Days of Thunder? Exxon, Goodyear, Purolator, or Tide? He had Exxon as a sponsor. Ooh, a lot more shuffling for position there. But Corey Klatt has a huge lead, so it looks like it's just going to be a battle for second place. Zaim Tashfin has it right now, and then Cole Trickle is in third. What number does Cruz Ramirez get to keep at the end of Cars 3? I feel like everybody got their answers in pretty quick on this one, so I'm assuming that means everybody got it right. Oh yeah, everybody got that one right. We could probably do an entire quiz just on the Cars movies. Maybe that's something to do for next week. Which driver has the sponsor Old Spice in the movie Talladega Nights? It was Cal Naughton Jr. Trip Murphy wasn't even in the movie Talladega Nights. That was the guy from Herbie Fully Loaded. He had Cheetos as a sponsor, by the way. It was a cool looking car, actually. And NASCAR Maniac makes his way into third with one question left. Who drives the number 10 four-star whiskey Buick in the 1983 movie Stroker Ace? His name was Aubrey James, and fairly spread out there. We had at least one response or one answer on each response. So here's a look at the podium. Coming in third is Joey Logano. Coming in second place is Zaim Tashfin. And then taking the win with 8 out of 10 questions correct is Corey Klatt. This is all new to me to see this response stuff here with like the difficult questions thing, and it tells you which ones people struggled with. That's more of like a tool to help with teachers and that kind of stuff. That's kind of what Kahoot is used for the most part. But still kind of interesting. Well, I don't need an update right now. Thank you though. So I have one more quiz for us tonight. Got 20 questions in it. This is the one that I was going to do last week, but with the Homestead race and the way that got rained out, we did a little bit of trivia during the rain delay, but this is not one of the ones that we got to. And it was originally for last week, so we're going to go ahead and get going with it tonight. So we've got 20 questions. This is what I was planning on starting the night with. I know this is at least our second week in a row now that we've had weather issues with the NASCAR race, so that That's kind of unfortunate. Kind of messed us up last week trying to do the live stream, but, you know, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot we can do. The stream would work out great if the races were able to run at the time that they were supposed to. I like that name, Gurge Biffle. Boy, we got 8 players in this game. There's only 5 people watching the live stream, so I'm guessing that's going to be everybody for this round. Gonna go ahead and get started. 20 questions, and here is the first question. What was Daniel Suarez's sponsor in his NASCAR Cup debut? Hey, everybody got it right. Aris High Speed Modems. And by the way, if you had not figured this out with the way that this works, like the scoring system, you get points if your answer is right, obviously, but you also get points on how fast you were able to answer it. So if you answered it right away, which is impossible on a live stream because of the couple second lag, you would get 1,000 points if you got it right away. And if you got it like the very last second, you'd get 500 points. And then, of course, anywhere in between, you get, whatever in between amount. All right, so another NASCAR sponsor question. What was Matt Kenseth's sponsor when he won the 2012 Daytona 500? This is going to be kind of like in little categories, by the way. We're going to do, I think, 5 sponsor questions, and there's some different ones in there that it's different categories. I don't remember all of them because I made this quiz a couple weeks ago. There's some shuffling of positions, but everybody's really close right there. Which company was on Jeff Gordon's car when he got his final win at Martinsville in 2015? Got a couple answers in really quick there. I think there's 2 that people are really hesitating between. Yeah, those were the 2 that everybody went for. It was Exalta and AARP. But AARP was what was on his car when he won at Martinsville in 2015. So double the points here. What was the sponsor on Alex Bowman's car in his first NASCAR Cup season? It was Dr. Pepper. He was racing for BK Racing in the 23 car. That was long before he ever got to Hendrick. Another one worth double the points. Snickers was the sponsor for which driver during the 2007 season? Ricky Rudd. He drove the number 88 Snickers Ford. And another thing with this quiz is that the 4th and 5th questions of each category are going to be worth double the points, if I remember right. So, yeah, the next 3 questions are worth regular points, and the 2 after that will be worth double. Oh, we've got a lead change now. as Greg Biffle has gone to the lead, and Corey Klatt and Racing Rookie took second and third. Who has the most wins all time at Talladega Superspeedway? Is it Dale Earnhardt, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Bobby Labonte, or Darrell Waltrip? Dale Earnhardt. Who was the winner of the first ever race at Talladega Superspeedway? If you were watching coverage today of the rained out Talladega race, they did mention this on the broadcast. Looks like we're missing an answer or two. It was Richard Brickhouse. It was his first and only win in the Cup Series, and it's a very crazy story of the first ever race at Talladega Superspeedway. If you've never heard that story, I'd highly recommend that you check that out after this live stream. I think Slap Shoes had a really good video on it. It was something like the worst NASCAR race in history or something. So, yeah, definitely worth a watch. Greg Biffle's got a hot streak going. Next question. Who holds the record for the most laps completed at Talladega with 10,181 laps around the 2.66 mile superspeedway? And only one person got it right, Michael Waltrip. But yeah, so he was pretty good at, restrictor plate racing, and he was in a lot of races, and he was pretty good at staying out of trouble, so he has the record for most laps completed at Talladega. NASCAR Maniac 48 is the one who got that right. Question number 9 is worth double the points. Who was the winner of the 100th Cup race ever run at Talladega? It was Chase Elliott. So I guess that would mean that today's race, or now tomorrow's race, is going to be the 102nd race ever run at Talladega. Because if that was the 100th, and that was last spring, and last fall was the 101st, then now we're on race number 102 at Talladega. Hey, Zaim Tashfeen comes back into the top 5. Question number 10. Final question about Talladega Superspeedway. Who finished second when Brian Vickers scored his first Cup win in 2006? Who came in second? I don't know who remembers this one or not, but it was when Vickers had turned Jimmy Johnson into Dale Jr., and they went sliding through the infield. And Brian Vickers went on to win the race. Ended under caution. Wow, nobody got that right. Yeah, it was Casey Kane. And if the race did not end under caution, Casey would have won it because he was coming. Or maybe the third place car would have won it. I don't know who the third place car was. Which manufacturer has the most wins in NASCAR history? So we're going to do some manufacturer trivia here. I'm just curious what happens if I hit this little button up here. Oh, sweet. It's just a full screen. Nice. How do I move on, though? My next button isn't here. Guess I gotta go back. So there's no point in using full screen. What track did Toyota get their first Cup Series win at? It was Atlanta Motor Speedway with Kyle Busch in the spring of 2008. And here we go with NASCAR Maniac 48. He's coming back up. He's in second place now. Couple hundred points behind our leader, Greg Biffle, though. Who was the last driver to get a win while driving a Dodge? Was it Kurt Busch, Brad Keselowski, AJ Allmendinger, or Joey Logano? It was Brad Keselowski. I think it was at Dover. Next up, worth double the points. In 1954 at Linden Airport Speedway, Al Keller won the race driving which foreign manufacturer? This is another kind of crazy story here. It's the only race this manufacturer has ever won, and possibly the only one that was ever only race that they ever ran Jaguar. But yeah, they had a handful of other foreign cars in that race too. But yep, it was a Jaguar that won a race. So yeah, if you go online and search all-time manufacturer wins in NASCAR and scroll to the very bottom, there is a 1 next to Jaguar. So just kind of interesting. Final question for the manufacturers. Which no longer active manufacturer has the most wins in NASCAR history? So pretty much which one is third behind Chevy and Ford? That was pretty quick right there. A lot of people went for Dodge, which is correct. We're going to do some brother trivia. Which of these two brothers has more wins? It's Terry Labonte. The score between those two, by the way, is 22 to 21. So Terry has just one more win than what Bobby does. It's getting a little bit tighter up front. Which of the Busch brothers has more career wins while driving a Chevrolet? Both have driven Chevys, and they've each won a handful of races. Kurt Busch has 5 wins, and then Kyle Busch only has 4. Zane Tashfin moves up a spot, and Greg Biffle extends his lead. I believe we've just got 3 questions left. Yep. So double the points for this one. Who has more wins in the Truck Series? Is it Austin Dillon or Ty Dillon? Split you guys 50-50 on that one. Austin Dillon has more wins in the trucks. Who made more Cup Series starts in the 2010s? Elliott Sadler or Hermie Sadler? Yeah, it was Elliott Sadler. I thought some people might get tricked on that one because Hermie has raced more recently in the Cup Series than what Elliott did. But yeah, Elliott Sadler, he ran the full season in 2010. I don't remember if it was 2010 or 2011 was his last full year. But yeah, that's more starts than what Hermie Sadler's had since like 2005. So final question for the night. Which of the Bodine brothers has the most Cup Series wins? Is it Todd Bodine, Jeff Bodine, Brett Bodine, or none of them have ever won a race? I don't know. Which one is it? Wow, I was really interested to see how you guys answered that one. So yeah, Jeff Bodine he has the most wins out of the Bodine brothers, and in the Cup Series I don't think Todd never won a race, but Brett won a couple, right? I feel like he won 1 or 2, and Jeff had a handful of wins. But I thought putting none of them have ever won a race, I thought that might throw some people off there. So let's take a look at our podium. NASCAR Maniac 48, as always, ends up toward the top. Corey Klatt comes in second. And then with his first win of the night, Greg Biffle. And according to this, there were 12 difficult questions, and only 36% of answers were correct. So, yeah, we had, 2 that nobody was able to get any of them right. Wow. Yeah, this is kind of cool to look through here. All right, so that is going to be the end of this live stream. Thank you guys for joining in. I'll be doing this next week at some time. I'll make a post in the next couple of days telling you exactly when the live stream will be. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me for it. And hope you all had fun. Hope you learned something. And I will see you all next week.